Hello, and welcome to this overview of Modern Sales Foundations. I'm Mike Kunkel, MSF co-author and Vice President of Sales Effectiveness Services at Sparks IQ. Let's dig right in. One of the most effective ways to lift the performance across an entire sales force is by implementing an aligned sales methodology. MSF is a comprehensive sales training system that applies buyer-centric selling approaches throughout the entire customer life cycle. It is full cycle, buyer-centric, consultative, value-focused, and outcome-oriented. Basically, Modern Sales Foundations teaches sellers to sell the way modern buyers want to buy. Let's cut to the chase and get to the bottom line. When you're implementing a methodology, if the content won't produce results in the real world, if people can't learn it, and if you can't get people to use it, it's all a waste of time. In my 40 years in the sales profession and 30 helping sales forces improve performance, I've learned what it takes. There are three key differentiators built into Modern Sales Foundations based on what I've learned. The first is the content itself, the second is the instructional design, and the third is the implementation method. Let's look at these three more closely. Let's start with content. MSF was built from over 16 years of studying and analyzing top sales performers across a variety of companies, industries, products, and selling situations. We teach what top performers do differently that differentiate them from others. So it's a proven selling system. It was developed from that top performer analysis. It teaches what separates the best from the rest, and it has been proven to deliver results, not just over the time prior to Sparks IQ when I was using these methodologies and helping companies improve performance with them, but specifically since we've developed and produced MSF here, we have seen clients get the kind of results you see on this slide. So let's talk about instructional design. Here's the first part about how MSF is structured. It's organized into four major sections with 26 modules, each centered around a specific sales topic. Section 1 is core principles. This lays a foundation of buyer-centric mindsets and skills. Section 2 is prospect development, or you might think of this as new business development. Section 3 is opportunity management, or managing opportunities through the pipeline to a win. And Section 4, account management. These are the four main sections in the program. This is where the instructional design really becomes differentiated. I mentioned there are 26 modules. Each of those has 2 videos, and MSF is delivered through entertaining television-inspired formats. The first video has 2 parts. In the first part, co-hosts Mark and Millie, and you can see them in the upper right, and their occasional guest explain the key concepts during what we call the studio show. This is like a late-night television show. The second half of the first video, you'll see the fictional Airco Solutions sales team. It demonstrates MSF approaches in very realistic scenarios during what we call the episodes. I think of this almost as Seinfeld for sales. And the second video, also like television shows, is an after show where a host and Doug Wyatt and myself, as co-creators of the program, talk about the concepts explored in that module during the studio show and the episode with Airco. And we sometimes have special guest stars here too, who happen to be experts in the topic of that module. Now, if I were a sales manager or a seller at this point, I'd be thinking, wow, how long is this going to take? And here's the good news. Each module has 2 videos, 1 worksheet, in one meeting, but it's just a little a day. The average time for both videos is under 30 minutes total. Reps can watch them on different days, so it'd be 15 minutes on day one, 15 minutes on day two, and then on the third day, the worksheet prep for the reinforcement meeting should only take 15 minutes as well. Then the meetings with their manager at the end of the week and the team are about an hour. That's the total time commitment, happening typically 1 week at a time. Now, MSF provides a complete toolkit to ensure that your training investment delivers results. It also, as part of the instructional design, deeply supports the learning. The show notes, which you can see an example of on the lower right, is a quick reference guide or a content summary of everything that was taught in that module. Most are just one page. The second thing are the worksheets. You can see a brief example there as well. These are interactive job aids or tools. They help the reps prepare for the meeting that's going to happen, but then they're also designed to be used in the real world to help reps prepare to use what they've learned with real prospects and customers. And then we provide a manager's support guide to help the managers run these weekly meetings. It's a step-by-step guide that tells them exactly what to do. There's discussion and questions and answers, reinforcement activities, practice exercises and role play, and allows for feedback and coaching. This is where managers help their reps make it real and connect what they've learned back to their world and help them prepare to use it in the real world. This is part of what makes MSF so effective. Now, I also said that the way that we implement is a differentiator. So I want to review the approach that we typically take. On the right side, you see all of the 26 modules in MSF and the run times for the show and the after show in the total. And I provide this just so you can see that these two videos are generally around 30 minutes or less. Now, here's how we implement though. We start with manager and seller kickoffs meetings, usually separate, and then the managers will watch all of the videos in one section, such as MSF core principles that we see up top. And typically that's done over a 2-week period, but it can be over any time period you select, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever makes sense for your company. And remember, this includes video 1 and video 2. After the managers watch those videos, they meet with Sparks IQ, and we help them get ready to support their team. We answer their content questions, we ask them questions, and we ensure that they feel comfortable with the guide in running those meetings. Then the reps take the training, one module per week, and the managers support them. So the reps take Introduction to MSF in week 1, aligning with the buyer in week 2, the value stack in week 3, and so on. And at the end of each week, managers conduct those 1-hour weekly support sessions. And then the pattern repeats. Once you're through with the section, the managers start going through all of the videos in the next section. They meet with us at Sparks IQ. We help them feel comfortable and ready. And then the reps start again, one module per week, and so on. That's the way that we typically implement. So why do we do it this way? Here's why this approach works. First, it ensures managers know the content even better than their reps and can support and coach their reps in the weekly meetings and after. It uses the drip method, sometimes referred to as spaced repetition, to ensure learning, avoid overwhelm, and foil the forgetting curve, because we know that much training is lost very quickly after it's learned. It also guides managers to help the reps make it real in those weekly meetings and connect the content they've learned in the videos to their real world with their customers in your company. Overall, this improves retention, adoption, and mastery. And the reason that this is so important, especially adoption, is that many studies have shown that adoption rates when you're implementing a formal methodology like Modern Sales Foundations lead to higher success rates. This study from CSO Insights that I'm sharing here showed that adoption rates over 75% had a significant positive impact on revenue plan attainment, rep quota attainment, and win rates. If you want results, you need to get adoption and coach to mastery over time. So, what's next? Well, this is partly up to you, of course, but we can set up a digital solution room where you can explore more about Modern Sales Foundations on your own if you'd like. It includes sample modules as well, so you can experience the both of the videos and the support materials and even the manager support guide for a couple of modules. You can share this digital solution room with anyone you'd like inside your company as well. We're also pleased to meet with others on your team as you feel that's appropriate, and we're absolutely here whenever you have questions about what you see in the digital solution room or anything else. Lastly, I wanted to share your sales effectiveness services team at Sparks IQ with you. I'm Mike Kunkel, the VP of Sales Effectiveness Services and co-author of MSF and other programs here. Matt Cristofaro is your Senior Account Executive. Raylia Smalls is your Implementation Consultant. When you're ready to move forward, she'll help you get everything set up. And Kurt Haug is our Senior Sales Effectiveness Coach and supports MSF and other programs as well. If you have any questions at any time about anything, please feel free to reach out to us. You've got our phone numbers, cell phone numbers, emails. Send us a carrier pigeon note, whatever works best for you. We're here to support you. Appreciate your time today and hope this has been helpful as you explore Modern Sales Foundations.